Good morning and welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. It is Tuesday, January 3rd at 9 a.m. We are here this morning for a virtual hearing to allow customers of Duke Energy Progress to provide comment on the rate case filed by Progress in docket number 2022-254E. Let's start with a roll call of commissioners. Present in the hearing room, we have Commissioner Justin Williams, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Thomas, Chair Belser. With us virtually, we have Commissioner Irvin, Commissioner Caston, and Commissioner Carolee Williams. Let's take appearances from the parties. Who's present for Duke Energy Duke Energy Progress?
Madam Chair, Frank Ellerby, the Robinson Gray Law Firm, representing Duke Energy Progress at this public hearing today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ellerby. South Carolina Department of Consumer Affairs.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the Commission, Roger Hall on behalf of the department.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Is there anyone present from the federal executive agencies? Anyone present from South Carolina Small Business Chamber of Commerce? Anyone present from Nucor Steel, South Carolina? Anyone present from South Carolina Coastal Conservation League, Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, and Vote Solar? Anyone present from Sierra Club? Anyone present from Walmart Incorporated? Anyone present from South Carolina Energy Users Committee? Office of Regulatory Staff.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Alex Knowles on behalf of the South Carolina Office of Regulatory Staff.
Thank you, Mr. Knowles. As stated, we are here to receive customer comment regarding the application filed by Duke Energy Progress. Only those persons who have signed up previously and are on our list will be allowed to speak today. If you are signed up to speak, witnesses, you are testifying about facts known to you related to Duke Energy Progress and the pending rate case application. Witnesses will be placed under oath, affirming that what they are saying is the truth known to them. Witnesses must be placed under oath in order for the testimony to be received as evidence and to be considered by commissioners. Mr. Bachman, in a few minutes, will give some instructions on how we will proceed. The hearing where the parties, who are all those names that I just called, will present their witnesses, will begin next Monday, January 9th at 10 a.m. These witnesses presented by the parties are generally very technical in nature, professionals, accountants, and professionals of other within specific areas that Duke and the parties are putting forth. And at this point, I believe we have 21 witnesses on the list for this morning. And I'll recognize Mr. Rob Bachman, to provide some instructions to the witnesses, please.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair. All of our witnesses will receive the same instructions. Testimony given at this public hearing will be entered into the record of the docket and will require you to be sworn in as a witness. In a moment, when your name is called, I will ask you to affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Afterwards, you will be asked to clearly state your name, the name of your street and your town, but not your full street address, simply the name of your street and of your town, and whether you are a customer of the utility company in question, that is Duke Energy Progress, LLC. After you provide that information, you may begin your testimony. All witnesses are given 3 minutes to testify before the commission and should remain on the line once those 3 minutes have elapsed, as the parties or commissioners may have questions for you following your testimony. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bachman. Parties, you've heard the preliminary instructions and matters, or is there anything from either any of the parties present? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ellaby. I was about to forget that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, thank you, and Mr. Vice Chair and members of the commission. Appreciate y'all having this hearing and providing our customers an opportunity to appear and comment on the rate increase application that the company has pending. I am here present for the company. Attending virtually is Mike Callahan, who is the South Carolina State President for Duke Energy Progress, and Larry Hatcher, who is Senior Vice President for Customer Services. Also, Marcus Preston, who is Regulatory Affairs for South Carolina, is appearing virtually. And he will be available to assist customers who may have specific issues. And the way he has been attending, as members of the commission are aware, Mr. Preston has been attending the live in-person public night hearings that y'all have held, and has been able to be available to customers at the night hearings in person. We are trying to make him and others within the company available for specific issues that folks may have and may want to talk to the company about. The commission staff has put a phone number on the live stream that is a number to call. The way we propose to do it and plan to do it is if folks will call that number and leave a voicemail, you will be contacted by somebody from the company. This is entirely voluntary. There's no pressure on you to do that on any of the customers, but if they choose to do that, that would be a way for them to get in touch with the customer and find out if the company has programs that may assist them with the issues that they have with the company. So thank you for letting me make those brief remarks, and I look forward to hearing from our customers.
Thank you, Mr. Ellaby. Mr. Knowles, any preliminary comments?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. And good morning, Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, members of the commission, the parties, and all the customers who are here in attendance today. My name is Alex Knowles. I'm an attorney with the South Carolina Office of Regulatory Staff. The Office of Regulatory Staff, also known as ORS, is a state agency separate and distinct from the Public Service Commission. ORS represents the public interest in proceedings such as this one before the commission, and in doing so, ORS makes recommendations to the commission regarding the application that's been filed by Duke Energy Progress. Today is very important because it's your opportunity as customers to share with the commission your thoughts and opinions on the application filed by Duke Energy Progress. I also want to introduce the ORS Consumer Services Division, who you can speak to regarding any questions that you have as a customer. The contact phone number for ORS Consumer Services is scrolling on the live stream feed. There's a local number, 803, and a toll-free number, 800. The toll-free number is 1-800-922-1531, and that number again is 1-800-922-1531. Thank you all for attending. Look forward to speaking with you. And Madam Chair, the last preliminary matter I have is to ask that the pre-registration sign-in sheet for this hearing be marked and moved into the record.
Thank you, Mr. Knowles. The pre-registration sheet with the list of witnesses will be marked for identification as hearing exhibit number 4 and received into the evidence of this case. Mr. Bachman, would you call our first witness?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our first witness this morning is Teresa McGuire. Ms. McGuire, can you hear me? I'm sorry, excuse me. We have a witness who has been added to the list, Larry Fuller. Larry Fuller's on the line. Mr. Fuller, can you hear me? Larry Fuller, can you hear me? Mr. Fuller, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Thank you, sir. Will you please affirm that the testimony you are about to give represents the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Will you please provide the commission with your name, your street name, but not your full address, and whether you are a Duke Energy Progress customer?
My name is Larry Fuller. My street address is 3354 Bay Road. Yes, I am a Duke Energy customer.
Thank you, sir. You will have 3 minutes for your testimony. You may begin at your convenience. Please remain on the line once those 3 minutes have elapsed.
Okay. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Yes, I am a Duke customer, and I've been a Duke Energy customer for 2.5 years. I recently moved back here to South Carolina from Florida. And I was born here in South Carolina, and I've been living in 4 different states. And this is the highest rate. What I'm trying to say is this: I have never, ever paid what I'm paying for rate in all the 3 other states that I have lived in. When I moved back here, I got a sticker shock. I have lived on the West Coast in California, Texas, and Florida. I have never in my life paid what I am paying for electricity here. And I have called Duke and told Duke that I have never paid what I am paying for what I've done. I have bought this house and I have renovated. And when I first moved in here, this house sat empty, and I got an electrical bill for over $100 for an empty house that was not doing anything. And when I was living in Florida, I never got an electrical bill over $100. When I was living in California and Texas, I never got an electrical bill over $100, even in the summertime. And when I saw my printed bill, and it said that your rate may increase during the winter or during the season when the temperature increase, whatnot, I go, your rate should not increase. Your energy bill may increase, but your rate shouldn't increase. I don't know what is going on, or someone asleep at the switch that allowed Duke Energy to increase their rate. Duke does not deserve a rate increase. They cannot keep the power on here. Every time the rain starts, I have to set my microwave and my oven here because the power goes off. That's all I have to say. Duke does not deserve a rate increase. The rates are already too high here. Even down there where in Florida, Duke Energy was higher than what I was paying, higher than the competitor when I was down there. That's all. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Fuller. Hold on just a second. Let's see if anyone has any questions for you, please.
No questions, Madam Chair.
Mr. Knowles from the Office of Regulatory Staff has a question for you, Mr. Fuller.
Good morning, Mr. Fuller. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
How long have you lived in South Carolina as a DEP customer?
I moved back here in 2000. Two and a half years.
2.5 years. Approximately how many power outages have you experienced?
How many what?
How many power outages?
I have had multiple power outages.
Okay.
I had one a week ago.
Okay. And what county do you live in, sir?
Florence.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fuller.
Thank you, Mr. Fuller. Hold just a second. Commissioners, are there any questions for this witness?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Mr. Fuller, good morning, sir. Could you tell me about the power outage that you experienced a week ago?
I couldn't hear your question.
I'm sorry, sir. Could you please tell the commission about the power outage that you experienced 1 week ago?
Well, when the power goes out, it goes out every time the rain. Well, a week ago, it went out multiple flicks. Every time the rain happens, it goes out. It goes out in cycles. I don't know if they keep sending this thing about equipment failure or whatnot, and it goes on and off. It's just like it's frustrating because the microwave and the oven lights keep going off, and like I have not reset the clocks on the equipment because I'm waiting for it to go off again if the storm happens, and that's the God honest truth.
Did you have any issues keeping warm while the power was off last week?
Big party?
Did you have any difficulties heating your home during the power outage last week?
No, I did not. No, I didn't have a blackout during the issue with power last week heating my home.
Thank you very much, sir.
Because I keep my power down to 68. 69. And one of the things when I moved back here, I upgraded all my unit. I put in a new unit. I put in a new AC unit. So all the appliances and electrical appliances are up to date in this house.
Thank you, sir.
You're quite welcome.
Commissioners, any further questions from this witness? Mr. Fuller, thank you for testifying this morning. We appreciate your participation today. Hope you have a good day, sir.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Next witness.
We're in the process of contacting our next witness, and we'll have them on the line momentarily. Madam Chair, we have established contact with our next witness. Our next witness will be Libby David. Libby David, can you hear me?
Yes,
Superb. Ms. David, if you would please affirm that the testimony you are about to give represents the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes,
Thank you. Will you please provide the commission with your name, your street name and town, but not your full address, and whether you are a Duke Energy Progress customer?
yes. Libby David. I'm in Florence, South Carolina, and I am a Duke Energy.
Thank you, Ms. David.
Yes, I'm a customer.
Superb. You will have 3 minutes for your testimony. You may begin now.
Yes, I was wanting to speak and talk about the rate increase and my concern where everything's going up. And at this time, I already noticed a big increase over the past couple months, and we haven't even, received our bill for the winter, and it was a hard winter. We had, I mind paying the increase in rate, especially when the service is not even up to par 100%. Over the past few weeks, my system is actually controlled by Duke Energy. They have a system piece on my air conditioning, my central air system outside, and my bill still has increased. I even asked for it to be balanced. They stated the rates are going up continuously, and the issue I had is I have a child. I have a little one. So over this past week, it was very harsh on my son, who actually have allergies and everything else, for them to control my central heat. Were calling constantly. Well, no, they were sending me texts constantly asking me to reduce. I was already at 69, 68, but with the reduction, I'm still seeing the increase in rate, and that's my concern. Why is there still an increase? And I'm having to, I guess, accommodate the company, but is the company accommodating our needs with keeping the rates, I guess, where they currently are, or either decrease it, because we're currently paying a high, volume of money on everything else, and it seems like Duke Energy goes up every so amount of months, and we're not seeking benefits from this, not the customers. We're asking to be placed. We're asking to restrain our energy, but the bills are still constantly going up. That's my concern. How is that possible? What's actually going on? Why is it not? It would be great if they had more things to benefit the consumers versus, I guess, the people that's actually, working for Duke Energy. Maybe they benefit from it, but we're the consumers are not. And it's causing hardship not only on myself, but on my family, which is a concern. When you cause a hardship on little kids, innocent, kids, by crunching down on how much energy is used, but at the same time you're going up on the price, we have a problem. That's a red flag.
Ms. David, this is Florence Belser. I'm chair of the commission. We can't answer your questions because this is a hearing where we are taking testimony regarding the application of Duke Energy Progress to increase their rates. Hold the line just a minute. There may be some questions from some of the parties to the case or the commissioners. And if you're, they may give you a telephone number where you can call Duke Energy and someone will call you back. So just a moment, please.
Yes.
Questions?
My main concern is that the rate increase does not equal up to the services that we're receiving. If the services were there and we had a good firm service in our neighborhood, that would be great. But I have called out to Duke Energy about certain things in our neighborhood, in our subdivision, and they still not fit. But our rates are going up. Now I'm being charged extra rate. We're already being charged extra in our subdivision for the community lights. We're already getting a $8 that, you know. So our rates are already high as it is compared to other neighborhoods. We're already paying additional $7, approximately $8 a month on top of our energy bill with Duke Energy. So for it to go up even more, it definitely going to cause some issues. You know, right now we are already, you know, on the crunch with numbers, but now we're talking about an increase in rate, but we're already paying additional.
Thank you, Ms. David. Just a moment. There are going to be there's some questions for you. Questions from from Duke Energy, Mr. Ellaby.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Ms. David. Appreciate you participating. Let me check. There's several programs that you may have already talked to Duke about these programs, but if you haven't, if you've got something to write this down, the phone number to call is 803-988-7132, and that will go to a voicemail. And if you will leave your message and leave your phone number on that voicemail, somebody from the company will call you back. There are several plans that folks can talk to you, the company people can talk to you about. There's some that help you with managing your payments. There are installment plans. There's a budget billing plan. There's also a home energy house call program where somebody from the company will come to your house and help talk to you about ways of possibly saving on your energy bill. There is a prepaid advantage program also. So there are a number of programs, and again, it sounds like you've been very active about this, and I think Mr. Knowles.
I guess it's not so much. I understand that Duke Energy offer programs, and that's all well and good, but we're talking about increase of rates. Things are already high. Duke Energy already makes, I don't know how much plus of revenue a year. We already know this. It's already documented. I see it. I have, actually, I know the numbers. What is the purpose of going up and increasing rate? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about different kind of programs. I already invest in the programs. As I stated before earlier, I actually have the program where they have a panel on my central system outside that controls, energy as far as that going and pumping into the household. It's not so much of the programs, it's the increase in rates. You can increase rates. When you increase rates, it's not helping us. It's just causing more of a barrier. And in the long run, it's going to cost you more at the company because there's going to be more people asking or applying for these different programs to get discounts. Whereas we can go ahead and be proactive than reactive. That would be great. Proactive into helping your consumers by not increasing rate and then asking us to participate in programs that a lot of us not even going to qualify for.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of those opportunities, and there'll be extensive discussion of.
I'm in one of the programs now where you get a discount yearly. It's very minute. It's very small. Duke Energy does not give out. They do not provide major assistance with energy bills. I mean, I'm not really sure if you ever apply for it yourself, but they don't. It doesn't exist. Yes, we can state this in this hearing of the different programs, but can we look at the numbers of actually how much is actually dividend out to consumers for assistance versus how much you take in every month, every day for billing us these rates? It doesn't equal up at all.
Yes, ma'am. I have no further questions. Thank you, Ms. Davis. Thank you.
That'd be great, and we can look at stats on that. How much Duke Energy actually assists consumers versus how much you charge us on a daily basis. It is no consistency. And how much revenue you bringing in every month versus it just doesn't make sense. It's so much revenue coming in Duke Energy. I don't see what the problem why we're increasing rate? You already getting enough. The revenue is out of this world.
All right,
with
Ms.
Duke
David,
Energy.
Ms.
It's
David,
very high.
Ms. David, thank you for that response. Further questions for this witness? Ms. David, thank you so much for participating in this morning's hearing and giving us your perspective and for your testimony this morning. You're excused. Thank you,
Have a good
ma'am.
day.
Have a good day. Next witness, please.
Our next witness is Trace Kellett. Trace Kellett, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Superb.
Good morning, good morning to everybody down there.
Just,
Thank you
just,
for,
a,
Mr. Kellett.
allowing me.
just a moment, Mr. Kellett. We need to swear you in.
If
Just
you
a
would
moment.
please pause, Mr. Kellett, and if you would please affirm that the testimony you're about to give represents the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Thank you, sir. If you will please now provide the commission with your name, your street name, and the name of your town, but not your complete address, and whether you are a Duke Energy Progress customer.
Okay, my name is Trace Kellett. I live on Charing Cross Road in Taylors, South Carolina.
And you are a Duke Energy Progress customer?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Kellett, you live in
Yes,
you live in Taylors near Greenville?
that's correct.
Okay, this case involves Duke Energy Progress, not Duke Energy Carolinas.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the notification about this and, just wanted to participate. Maybe I missed something because I'm blind. And if that's all you guys need from me, then I guess we'll end this conversation then.
Well, yes. So this is an increase requested by Duke Energy Progress, which serves in the eastern part of South Carolina. I think your electric provider, I believe, is Duke Energy Carolinas.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry about that. Like I said, I'm blind and
Well-
just was able to catch the email
Yes, sir.
and filled it out. But,
Well, we
of course,
appre-
I disapprove.
We appreciate your willingness to be a part of the process, but should Duke Energy
Okay.
Carolinas file a rate case, please feel free to sign up to testify.
Thank you so much for your time and Happy New Year to everybody.
Thank you, sir. You too. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Do we have
We
another-
are in the process of contacting our next witness. One moment, please. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Thanks. Madam Chair, we have established contact with our next witness, who will be Tala Garrett. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Superb. If you would please affirm that the testimony you're about to give represents the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Will you please provide the commission with your name, your street name, and your town, but not your complete address, and whether you are a Duke Energy Progress customer?
I'm a Duke Energy customer, and it's Dunbar Street. That's in Wilford, South Carolina.
Thank you. And would you please confirm your name?
Paula Garrett.
Excellent. Thank you. You may begin your testimony.
Wait a minute, just a moment. Ms. Garrett, you're in Welford, South Carolina?
Yes.
Is that in Spartanburg County?
Yes.
Are you a customer of Duke Energy Progress?
Yes, I am.
Is your provider shouldn't there? We've got two Duke Energy companies operating in South Carolina. Duke Energy Carolinas. Does that sound familiar? In the north? Okay. This is a case involving Duke Energy Progress, which serves the eastern part of South Carolina. Do you know what notice you got that led you to be interested in testifying today?
We saw it on the television and again on social media.
Okay. If you are living in Spartanburg County, you're not a customer of Duke Energy Progress. I believe you're a customer of Duke Energy Carolinas.
Okay.
So I don't know that you would have anything to speak to on this application.
Okay.
Okay, it's a different they're different utilities. But thank you for being willing to testify today.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, we will now reach out to our next witness. One moment, please. Madam Chair, we have reached our next witness. Our next witness is Jerry Pate. Mr. Pate, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Pate. At this point, we will now ask that you would please affirm that the testimony you are about to give represents the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Will you please provide the commission with your name, your street name and town, but not your complete address, and whether you are a Duke Energy Progress customer?
My name is Jerry Pate. I live at 433 Lakewood Drive, and I am a Duke Progress customer.
Thank you, sir. You may begin your testimony. You will have
Mis-
three.
Mr. Pate, could you give us your town, please? Your
Repeat, please.
Would you give us your town?
Hartsfield.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Pate. You will have 3 minutes for your testimony. Please do remain on the line once those 3 minutes have elapsed, as the parties or commissioners may have questions for you following your testimony.
Yes, sir.
You may begin, sir.
Mr. Chairman, fellow commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to allow me to speak to you on the matter before you today. My wife and I are in our mid-70s and are retired. We are served by the Duke Energy Progress utility. I believe Duke Energy petition for a rate increase, if granted, would directly adversely impact my wife and I, because energy costs are a high budget item in our household. Over the years, we have tried to reduce our energy costs by adding insulation, installing more efficient water heater, installed a new heat pump, agreed to install peak energy switch on the high use heat pumps, installed LED bulbs, requested energy audit to reduce our energy use. Also, we've changed out all the windows in our house to more efficient energy units. We looked into the solar, but we found out that our age, the long-term contracts just did not seem much of an advantage for us at this time. I also would like to say that I believe the Duke Energy Progress has not been as aggressive with renewable energy in our area, because as in the other markets they serve. I believe this is evident by the lack of the large solar farms that I see and read about in other service areas. So therefore, I contend that I strongly oppose a rate increase at this time. There's certainly some issues to be resolved, I'm sure, on both sides. But at this time, that completes my comment.
Thank you, Mr. Pate. Please hold on the line, as either the parties or commissioners may have some questions for you. Let's check. Questions?
Madam Chair. Go ahead.
Commissioner, Vice Chair Powers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Pate, these different programs that you have entered into to try and be efficient and to lower your cost, did they not lower your cost at all, or what sort of change have you seen?
Yes, sir. They have reduced our costs. When we bought the property 25 years ago, our energy cost was almost $300 a month. At this point, we're on a fixed rate program, and our energy rate is about $170. So we had about a 30% reduction in our energy use over the years, but we paid dearly for it to get there.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any further questions for this witness?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin?
thank you. Mr. Pate, thank you for participating in our public hearing this morning. What steps do you think that Duke Energy Progress could take to help reduce ratepayer bills in your area?
repeat the question, please. I could barely hear you.
Yes, sir. I wondered, you mentioned that, you thought that Duke was not using renewable energy, to the advantage of ratepayers. Tell me, why do you think that's the case?
I honestly, I cannot, get into the and ifs, buts, and whys about it. But if they were to aggressively pursue the renewable energy source that's, apparently pretty much sought after in other areas, it would certainly put some competition into the natural gas consumption that they are, dependent upon for a lot of their generation.
Well, you're right about the fact that natural gas prices have spiked, and that has driven rate increases most recently. We appreciate you being with us today, and thank you for your testimony.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for the opportunity. I appreciate it greatly.
Any further questions for this witness? Mr. Pate, thank you for your participation. Commissioner Caston, is that?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I was trying to ask a question, but I was muted. I apologize, ma'am. Mr. Pace, along those lines, I'm curious, from a customer's perspective, your perspective, what is of greater interest to you? And I don't know what the results will be, but are you interested more in lower cost or lower bills, or would you prefer to have more renewables, whether that increases cost or decreases cost? Does that make sense?
I'm certainly interested in more renewables. We have a piece of property that's a couple of miles from their substation here in Hartsville that at the time when the Energy Freedom Act was passed, there was not much interest in, large-scale solar type operations. And I know that there are many large-scale farms in our area that have solar development contracts on, but they're sitting idle just like, they are on our place. So
Are you through? Is that your answer or response?
yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm sorry. The phone reception where I'm at is very poor, and I can only get about every third word. So.
Any further questions for Mr. Pate? Mr. Pate, thank you for your participation. We appreciate you being willing to participate in this hearing this morning and for your comments. Hope you have a good day.
It already is a good day. You too.
Thank you, sir. Do we have another witness?
Madam Chair, we are in the process of contacting our next witness.
We'll wait. Thank you. we're ahead on the call a little bit, so let's take a 15-minute break, and we'll come back at 10:05. That's not quite 15 minutes, but 10:05. Good morning and welcome back to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. I want to take a quick roll call of commissioners. Present in the hearing room, we have Commissioner Justin Williams, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Thomas, and Chair Belser. Appearing virtually, we have Commissioner Carol Lee Williams, Commissioner Caston, and Commissioner Irvin. Parties, I think, are still on. We are still trying to reach a few of the names on the list of persons who had signed up to speak today. We're going to continue this recess until 10:30. We will be back at 10:30 this morning. Thank you. Good morning and welcome back to the Public Service Commission in this public hearing concerning the application of Duke Energy Progress LLC in docket number 2022-254E for an increase in electric rates, adjustments in rate schedules and tariffs, and requests for an accounting order. Let's take a roll call of commissioners. With us virtually, we have Commissioner Urban, Commissioner Caston, and Commissioner Carolee Williams. Present in the hearing room, we have Commissioner Justin Williams, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Thomas, and Chair Belser. The commission staff has been working through the list of individuals who had signed up to testify this morning. We've had 5 or 6 folks that have presented testimony this morning. We've been unable to reach any of the other witnesses who had signed up. Some have indicated that they no longer wish to testify or had other matters come up that prevented them from testifying. And numerous attempts have been made on a few of the others to no avail. So at this point, we have reached the end of the witnesses that we could contact based on the contact information that they had given us. And we will close this proceeding.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Williams.
before we close, may I be recognized?
Yes, sir.
Madam Chair, I would just like to commend you and Vice Chair Powers along with the commission staff. I just realized that in addition to the public hearings in person that we had in Sumter, Florence, and Bishopville, we've had this proceeding, the virtual proceeding, scheduled for today. And then also open up time during the week to allow customers or interested parties to testify, which I believe greatly enhances the transparency in this process. And I appreciate you all's leadership and the staff's commitment, including Executive Director Boyd, to make sure that folks that want to testify, that have standing to testify, have the opportunity to do so. Also like to recognize the Office of Regulatory staff and the company who always had plenty of personnel present to answer questions that the commission couldn't answer. And so I know while sometimes the proceedings may seem to be somewhat frustrating to customers because we can't answer questions, at the very least, the Office of Regulatory staff and the company always had personnel present to do what they could based on the rules that we must comply to. So I appreciate everything that you all have done.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. It certainly is a joint effort, and staff is not always recognized for the work that they have to put in to get these proceedings online, to work with the customers that wish to testify. So thank you for those kind words, and I know that staff appreciates the recognition. As stated, we have reached the end of the list. Should there be any Duke Energy Progress customers that have issues they need to discuss with the company, there's been a phone number that has been scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I believe that number is 803-988-7132. I would encourage customers that have billing issues or other issues that they need to speak with the with Duke Energy Progress about to contact that number. It's my understanding, based on comments from council this morning, that number goes to a voicemail. Please leave contact information, and I have been assured, or council assured us this morning in opening, that calls will be returned from that number. And again, that number is 803-988-7132. Similarly, if there have been issues that the utility has not been able to address, customers, I do encourage you to contact the Office of Regulatory staff. They have a customer services department that will assist you where they can and at least try to get some answers to questions. The ORS number is 803-737-5230, or there's also a toll-free number, 800-922-5400. 1531. So any customers that are listening that have issues or questions, please feel free to contact Duke Energy Progress or the Office of Regulatory Staff. As we have reached the end of the list of potential witnesses who have signed up, we're getting ready to close this hearing. And closing this hearing means that there is not an afternoon session, nor is there a session for Wednesday or Thursday. Those sessions were held open to, if in case we had the number of witnesses that needed where we needed additional time to hear from them. Mr. Knowles, I see your light on.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chair. I did just want to advise the commission before closing out the hearings that had been previously scheduled for tomorrow morning and the following morning, that ORS and ORS's executive director had heard from the Farm Bureau and AARP that members of those organizations had an interest in testifying. I recognize that none have pre-filed or have signed up to schedule at this point. It is on the heels of the holidays, however. And so I wanted to advise you, Madam Chair, that ORS's recommendation is not to cancel yet the hearings that have been scheduled for tomorrow morning and the following morning, in light of the interest that ORS has heard from members of AARP and the Farm Bureau and still signing up to testify.
Mr. Knowles, where are these people signing up? The cutoff was last week to sign up through the web site with the commission, was it not?
Yes, ma'am. That was the cutoff date.
Are people signing up through ORS?
No, ma'am. Of course, it would have to be through the commission, and of course, ORS fully recognizes that this is the commission's decision, and we recognize all of the hard work that goes into these proceedings and has gone into these proceedings.
Okay. We need to stand at ease for just a moment. Let me consult with staff, please. We're at ease. We're not recessed. We're at ease. Four, three, two, one. We're back on the record. Let me just do a quick roll call of commissioners to make sure we're all here. Present in the hearing room, we have Commissioner Justin Williams, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Thomas, Chair Belser, and appearing virtually, we have Commissioner Caston, Commissioner Urban, Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Mr. Knowles, I'm not trying to cross-examine here. I'm just trying to see where we are. It's my understanding that the instructions were that potential witnesses needed to pre-register by last Friday. Does that sound familiar to you?
I don't disagree, Chair Belzer.
Okay. Can you? I'm curious as to the information that is coming to ORS. Have y'all had individuals indicate to ORS that they wanted to testify but had not yet signed up?
The information that I received was that representatives of AARP and Farm Bureau had individuals who are members of those organizations say to them that they were still interested in testifying.
Okay. We can't publish anything at this point, but what I can do is we will hold Thursday mornings hearing. We will not cancel that one. We will hold that one open. But I think we have to have a deadline for people to sign up. And therefore, if y'all have had conversations with AARP and Farm Bureau, we're going to set a 3 p.m. Wednesday afternoon for folks to sign up through the website so that we know how many we've got. And we will convene on Thursday morning, and I don't recall the time. Is it 9 a.m., Ms. Boyd?
Yes, Madam Chair, it's 9
Okay.
a.m.
We will convene at 9 a.m. on Thursday morning to hear any further customer testimony. Now, can ORS work with the company and let these folks know, the representatives that have contacted ORS, that they need to let the people that have expressed interest, that they need to sign up through the commission website by 3 p.m. tomorrow, Wednesday?
Yes, ma'am. ORS will work with these organizations to ensure that they advise any members who are interested in testifying that they must sign up by 3 p.m. on Wednesday in order to testify on Thursday morning.
Mr. Ellerby, any comment?
I don't have any comment, Madam Chair. I wasn't present for the night hearings in the various places in the PD. It seemed, but my impression was there were a lot of Farm Bureau and AARP people that did show up over there. So, including, I believe, the executive director of the Farm Bureau.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But this sounds like information that has just come through recently, and we certainly don't want to preclude those that feel inclined to testify. So we will not have a hearing on Wednesday, tomorrow. Any further witnesses that wish to testify need to sign up through the commission website or the Mr. Knowles, you may need to get with Ms. Boyd or Ms. Goodfellow to get the address on where folks need to sign up and get that word out, if you would. But with that, we are closing today's hearing, and we will reconvene Thursday morning. That is January 5th, thank you, at 9 a.m. Mr. Ellaby.
Is that reconvening Thursday morning contingent on some people signing up by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon?
It is, but I think we're going to have to convene either way. We're going to have to convene and either say we don't have any, or we'll convene and hear from witnesses.
We'll be here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Knowles. Anything further? Hearing none, we are adjourning this session, and we'll reconvene on Thursday, January 5th at 9 a.m. Thank you.